welcome back to Unapologetically Wild with me, Katie Sontag. Today, I am so excited because I have a guest for you who's had a massive impact on my journey. She's the most beautiful human in the world, the coolest of light language. Oh,
Hey, baby. God, I love you.
so beautiful to have you here. As long as you're a little bit of an intro of you, and then I would love for you to share whatever I don't include.
Cool.
So,
Yes.
Nat's a multimillionaire entrepreneur, a speaker, a starseed mama who's helped over 720 students activate in their own light codes through their light code certification program. She's a woman helping the black sheep, the weirdos, the weird ones, the old saucy. As we all know, I'm one of those. Who remember who they are through light language and light code. So it's from overcoming addiction and starting from nothing to building a multiple soulless businesses guided by her spirit team. Nat embodies what it's meant to create your reality through energy alignment and deep remembrance. So this chat is going to be deep, galactic, grounded, and unapologetically wild. So welcome, my love.
Thanks, babe. That's a really great intro. I love it. I love it. You covered everything. How cool. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited today.
We're so welcome.
So I would love for you to share anything that you would like to add about you, and then we'll get into how we met and then some more.
Cool. I think the other piece that I am new into that I'm really sharing publicly that I love is home birthing. Guys, I love home birthing, having babies out of the system, women feeling so intuitively led in their pregnancy and in their birth space, and calling in a divine partner that can also hold this space for you to have your huge initiation of what motherhood actually means. Like we've just been in the birth space, and it has just been the most incredible awakening for both my partner and I, and it's just deepened our love even more. And I didn't believe it could get any deeper. Plus then birthing our beautiful little baby into this world, like just becoming a mum has been the best joy I have ever felt in my whole entire life. So I love all of the success that I have created, all of the companies I've created, we've got 50 employees across a couple of companies now, and we've got clients coming out of our ass in every single company now, and that's incredible, and it's incredible success, and I've loved the impact that I've created. And when I see my little boy's face light up because he sees his mama, that is the best blessing I have ever been blessed with in my life. So I love motherhood. I love motherhood. And it's also the most fucking challenging thing I've ever done in my life. And I thought personal development was hard. I thought growing a business was hard. I thought becoming a multimillionaire was hard. Holy cunt. The mothers out there that have eating more than one baby, I'm just like, I praise the ground you walk on. I'm like, I could kiss your feet, babe. You are amazing. Any mum that says, I've got 2 kids, I'm like, oh my God, you deserve a round of applause just for being alive. Like, what? So, it's been a cool journey, and it's been a rewarding journey, and it's also been the hardest fucking thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And baby was so cute.
Baby God is so cute. And also, by the way, guys, just for some lols here, I've called my son Godwin with the intention of programming him that he is God and he always wins. So we call him Baby God because it's just hilarious. And when we're out, I'm like, God, God, God. And people are like looking around like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, it's my baby. For some lols. For some lols, guys. It's so great.
So
Yeah.
God in the street. Like,
What a tripper. Yeah, babe. We're wild and free over here, people. We're all wild and free.
We're all about here, so that's perfect. Well, I love seeing that you've like grown and blossomed becoming a mum. So it's
Yeah.
and I can't believe that we met a few years ago. Antonia.
It must have been like 3 years ago, babe.
Yeah.
It's wild. Time just flies when you're having fun, hey?
It really does. And it was a wild meeting, like of all the places in the world to be both at Tony Robbins, to be going up the stairs or the escalator at the same time, to there's a hey,
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, your earrings are such a great talking point. So I was like, babe, your earrings are so cool. You're like, oh, thanks. And then I was like, oh, I love her. Thanks. Oh, let's have a chat. And it's wild because that day, right? So just set the scene for everyone. There's 5,000 people in a stadium, right? There are so many humans, and of course, everyone in the self-development space are quite chatty and open because everyone wants to sell their own businesses, right? Let's get real. And we were both walking into an investment opportunity where people had already invested in their business. So I knew walking in there that there would be business owners, which is great because I knew that I could sell some clients. Hilarious. Hilarious, right? So I actually got invited though as a +1. I didn't actually invest in Tony Robbins because I wanted to. And then I was like, he's so wide, like everything that he teaches is so broad. Is that going to be specific for me? And where I was at in my business and my investment journey of myself, I was like, if I invest in Tony Robbins, it could be cool, but I really actually wanted to go into his inner circle, which is I think 100K. So that was my next, I was like, right, next year I'm going to fucking play with the big dogs. That was my next mastermind, right? So I was like, I'm not going to invest in this. I think it was like $8,000 or $15,000 or something. I was like, I'm not going to invest in this because I'll wait and do the bigger investment later. Really great for any coaches or any business owners to listen to right now. When people say they're going to wait till later, they probably are going to change their mind. So never buy that bullshit. So for me, like now I will not buy his inner circle just because I've also heard some really wild things, but we won't get into that here. Some really like hardcore, they're all partiers in there. They all go in there to party. Yeah, it's not really his inner circle.
that is like wild, but also kind of makes sense when you see like the pictures of them all getting together and sort of like having a,
Having a good time.
partying, but they're, having a good time, sort of like doing
Yeah.
things. You're like, oh, interesting. So
Yeah. And when I say partying, I mean like using things that I don't use anymore. And I'm just like, that's really not really aligned. Yeah, because I had a best friend that was like on private jets with them and all sorts of shit. Like fucking in the inner circle, in this inner circle. So yeah. And I was like, that's really taken by surprise. And also everyone's open to whatever they want to do in their life. So anyway, me and you, I'm walking up the stairs. I see you. I'm like, what? How are you, babe? We sit down. We have a yarn. We don't even care about anything else that's going on because we're just too busy yarning. And then I was like, wait, come downstairs and let's have some food together. Do you remember that? And then we went and had some food. And then we hung out. And then you were like, you're so inspiring. I was like, thanks. Oh my God. And then I was like, hey, I'm meant to work with you. And then it was like this amazing conversation. I was just like, I love this chick. And that's how we met, guys.
so beautiful. And it was amazing how it was the start of my journey. So like I really like, it was my when I took long service leave from the army for the first time. And yeah, so I was only sort of like, a few years in, but a quarter of that had been training and, doing different courses to try and work it all out. But it was so time that we met because you just completely opened up my perspective. I remember you were saying like about becoming a millionaire and I was like, oh, I can't do it. You're like, bitch,
Yes. Oh, yeah, you can be a millionaire. Everyone can be a millionaire.
I love that, boys saying, like, if I can do it, you can do it. Like, it's so beautiful that you lead and show the way for so many entrepreneurs, women, obviously having been through home birth and like all of the beautiful things. You're like this beautiful remission piece for people to go and do things differently and not live by a system. And I think coming out of a system, I am so grateful that I met you that day and that, I've been able to journey with you because it's like to get out of a system like that takes a lot of reprogramming.
Totally, babe. Totally. And like for those of you, to give you also a bit more depth of this conversation, I came from a very middle class family. We weren't super rich, we weren't super poor, we were just very middle class. And then, my first year of personal development, I spent everything, every single cent that I could. I borrowed money off my brother, I borrowed money off my mum and dad. I had a $500 car. And so for then at the end of the following year to become a millionaire was absolutely wild. And so I have this huge saying, like, I'm just a normal human that shits in a toilet. Like, you are a normal human. We do human things. Well, people are peopling out here, you know? I'm just a peopling. And so I really feel like the only limitations that we all put on ourselves is what we create or perceive as a story, and then we sell ourselves that story. So really, we're so fucking good at sales. And if we only recognize that at a deeper level, hey, I'm so good at sales, I sell myself bullshit every single day. Hey, actually, if I sold a couple of clients into something that's going to be beneficial for them and I love doing it, why wouldn't I? And so then, of course, my year of my first million was a very challenging year. Like I hustled my ass off, and now I don't really promote that. But I think there's also an initiation into seven figures. Like you've got to go through a billion fucking ego deaths. You've got to raise your standards. You've got to make new commitments to yourself. You've got to really show up in a way that you've never shown up before and see yourself in a different way than you've ever seen yourself before. And it's like, yeah, I journeyed all these things. So then I'm so grateful that I now get to teach other women how to actually do seven figures, because I actually think it's a lot easier than people put that story down to. Like, you're so good at sales, just sell yourself a different story.
Yeah. And it's such a beautiful way to look at sales too, in a different light. I think so many people are like, and in this community, a lot of people being military and very in a system would be, yes, what are you talking about? Like, I don't sell myself anything, but you are every day. Like, you're literally selling yourself to stay in a system that you all know, but a lot of you know, but you should be out of. But it's like this thing, it's like when you come into, entrepreneurship and everything too, like you see all these people doing these things, and a lot of time people go into comparison, and and it's like, but you're just selling, like they're actually selling something that's worthwhile, and you're selling yourself the same story. Like, it's wild to think that it's the same. It's just you're doing it in a different way, and it's whatever way you choose.
Totally.
And and it is beautiful to see as well that where you came from, because as people know right now, I'm living this, where I'm now living in Newcastle, back near my family, and that's been a really interesting thing when it comes to beliefs and money, fun conversations. So it's like beautiful to see that, you allowed yourself to literally change your reality and sell to people that benefit their life, right? You are providing something that's so beautiful, that you love so much, that changes people's lives and actually makes people feel seen and heard in this beautiful space of who they are, instead of feeling like they're shunned or in a corner. And so it's the transformation that you provide people through your love of the fact that you've done it for you, right? And
yes,
receiving from that is not bad.
Yes, totally. And I also think that in our society and in the way that we've all kind of been raised and how life has kind of been lifing, is that there is such a bad stigma around money.
Yes.
And, one of the things that I do and I teach, so for those of you who don't know, Katie then came and worked with me for a year or two, almost 2 years. Yeah. And one of the big things I teach in my containers, guys, is that, money is a resource for you to then go and do what you desire. And also, you are worthy of creating the lifestyle that you want to, without it being poo-pooed. Like when we first moved into this house, this house that we live in right now is a $14 million house. Like, that would blow people's mind. This was on my vision board my whole entire life, right? And when I first walked in here, I actually cried so much because I didn't feel worthy of being in this house. And then my mum came and visited me, and I just cried so much because I felt like I was too far out of my family life. And I was like, Mum, are you going to hate me if I live in a house like this? And my mum just started crying. She's like, I just want you to be happy. And if this makes you fucking happy, then amazing. And then, of course, my dad walks in. My mum and dad have very different energy. Dad walks in. Fuck, this house is amazing. Look at this house. I'd never be able to afford this, Natty. You're the best, And mum's like, oh, baby, you just be happy. Then my brother walks in. Actually, before my brother even walked in, he's at the stairs to walk into our house, and he just starts crying. And I walk over to my brother and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I'm just so proud of you. He's like, I can't believe you've created this as a reality. And I was just like crying. I was like, oh, I didn't know I was going to have that reaction. Now, that wasn't the reaction at the start when I first started making lots of money, guys. I had to really, like you said, have some interesting conversations. I had to have some really interesting conversations with my family at the start. And I had to also stand up for what I really believed in. And what I really truly believe is that we're all energetic beings having a human experience. Science has now proven that we're 99.99999% energy. So then if money is just an energy, why can't we learn to channel it? If I teach people how to channel energy, why would I not be able to then tap into the abundant frequency of money? And so this question started circulating me for like the whole year of me being a millionaire. I was like, I don't understand. So like when I first started in coaching containers, there'd be girls making $50,000 a month, $30,000 a month. And I was just like, this is fucking nuts. I can't believe I'm making this sort of money. What the fuck? Here I am slaving away at fucking $2,000 a client. The fuck? People are paying this much? What? But then I remembered like when I first started coaching, I probably invested 20 or 30 grand to start with, right? Like the first course, then the second course, then you buy the business thing, and then you like you just keep investing. And so you don't think anything of it on yourself. Like when you invest in yourself, you're like, this is amazing. I'm here for transformation. I'm going to get the growth. But then when you, for some reason, then we flip it and then people start to pay us, we're like, oh, I don't know if I'm worthy of that. Well, it's like, what the fuck? You've just spent 100 grand on yourself. You deserve to now have that back. You've gotten all those codes. You've gotten all those lessons. You've gotten all those tools from that other person. This industry, we just get to circulate and recirculate the money. It's amazing. So then at the very start of my journey, I kind of kept saying like, this other girl in this container who I know isn't as good as coach as me, like genuinely, I know that I'm a better coach. She's making $50,000 a month. How the fuck can't I do that? Like, what does she have that I don't have? Okay, she might have a better messaging in the marketplace. She might have a better Instagram. So I go on, I fucking stalk her Instagram. I stalk this fucking girl for weeks. And I'm like, her Instagram's shit in comparison to mine. And then I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know if I've told you this story.
No.
Okay, wild. So I'm like, okay, let me see more of a scene. So I'm in this training room, right? And there's this chick who I did training with about a year ago. Now we're both coaches in the industry, and she's starting to sell lots of people. She does more embodiment stuff. I'm now at this time doing spiritual coaching and trauma release work. And she's the coach on stage has now just congratulated her that she's done $50,000 a month. And now this girl's the same age as me. We were both 28. And I looked at her and I was like, what does she have that I don't have? Now, I'm going to get really judgy here, and this is just the truth of where I was at consciously back then, but I'll bring all of me. I looked at her and I was like, I don't like the way she dresses. She dresses super spiritual, no bra ever, big crystals around her neck all the time. And I'm not poo-pooing this, guys, because I was there as well. And however you want to dress is up to you. But I was like, the way she's showing up online is like this, and I'm showing up like this. I'm trying to be this coach that's looking a certain way. And then I thought maybe she's got authenticity that I don't have. So I was like, okay, she's showing up however she wants to on social media. She doesn't give a fuck how she looks. I'm always presented with makeup on and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, maybe there's a thread here. So I was like, all right, if I showed up of more of me on social media, how would that respond? Boom.
Wow.
Boom. So I was like, okay, cool. This girl has led me to being more of me. Thank you for the reflection. Then, I remember my coach saying like, she's doing $50,000 a month. I was like, what the fuck? So I just started stewing on this. Like, you know how you hear your own voice in your head and you can really spin yourself a story? I was just like, how is she doing $50,000? How is she better than me? How is she better than me? How is she better than me? And I was so jealous. And I truly believe jealousy is a fuel to your next level. And I was so jealous of her success that I looked at all her offers. I looked at all her messaging. I looked at everything. Then I was like, who is she paying that I'm not paying? So then I started to be like, all right, I'm going to invest in another client, another coaching container. So I invested in another couple of guys that would teach me more marketing and stuff. So I was like, all right, that's the next thing that I need to grow in. So then I realized that me and her are not different. The only thing that's keeping us separate is that I am starting to judge myself that I'm not as good as her. So the separation is my own judgment of myself, which is keeping me small. Makes sense?
That is wrong. Yeah.
So even you and Candy, the only difference between you and Candy, well, actually even me and you, babe, the only difference between you and me and you is I'm better at selling myself a story, right? I'm just so good at sales. Now, when I say that, guys, I want to go into context for those of you who are like army based. Think about this. When you wake up in the morning and you snooze your alarm and you're like, I'm so tired, I can't be fucked getting up. We've all been there. Like we all as humans have done that. And you sell yourself a story. I'm tired. Let's just stay in bed. Let's stay in bed. Let's stay in bed. You're selling yourself a story. Let's go to like, even like party days. Okay. Let's all go back to party days because I'm sure we've all drunk in our hole and gotten fucked up before. Let's be honest, peopling. So when you're really drunk and you're in the toilets and you've just vomited because you're like, I should be taking myself home because I'm fucked up right now. But instead, you go over to the mirror and you look yourself in the eyes and you're like, come on, bitch, wipe the spew off your face. Like, you can do it. You give yourself a pep talk. You're like, come on, babe, just another couple fucking shots, another fucking couple hot guys to chat to, another couple dancing, or even not even talk to hot guys because we're just going to stare at them because I'm too pussy to talk to them anyway. But I'm going to dance with my girlfriend, so let's go, bitch. And you slap yourself in the face. You're like, let's go. You're selling yourself a story, right? Like we're so good at sales everywhere. We're so good at influencing ourselves, but we just forget about it when it comes to our own business. So if every single person just translated how they showed up in their own story to being in their business, everyone would be fucking successful. And then if they realize that you are not separate from other people around you, your competitors, I don't believe that they're competitors. I reckon they're just there to show you a different path. Yeah, so even right now we're building another business. Very cool. So exciting that we're going to launch. I'm hoping to launch February, but fucking mum life, who knows? And like even seeing other massive influencers in the business, I'm like, fuck, they're doing so many cool things. And then I'm like, no, hold on a second. They're just paving a way forward and I can copy them. Like, here's another thing, guys. Just copy other people that's worked. Like model other people's shit. If it's worked, use it. And obviously then every single time you do it, you're going to put your own authenticity on it. Like that other girl wearing her spiritual clothes. I was like, if I just become more authentic, will people like me more? Oh my God. I don't have to be this coach that wears these specific things to get sales. Actually, I can just be me or me. Good, eh? So good, eh?
It's so good. Like, and the fact that, of course, every girl's been in the bathroom. Like, and be like, I could do this. Like,
Another couple shots. Yeah, man. I can party. I can party longer. Like we've all been there. We've all been there.
And you're like, I'm not going home. And everyone's like, I think you should go. I'm like, no.
Days.
Tactical spew is what we call it.
Yeah, babe. Those days. Yeah.
I'm good. We're in. Oh, and it's wild how much we do it, like, and how often we do it, and how unconsciously we do it all the time, right? And we just don't until we become aware of it, and then realize that we can change it. It's wild how we live this life where we so many times, and I think before I even started all of this, I just thought that like it was just how life was. Like it's kind of like until you realize that you're like, oh crap, like I'm creating this every day.
Yes. And I get to change my story right now. Whoa.
Yeah, which is huge. And the impact of that is massive when you start changing the story. All of a sudden, like everything comes out of nowhere and you're like, oh my gosh, it's all changing. Like it actually works externally. And it is crazy sometimes to talk to people when I do now, especially being home and, you know, seeing people that I've seen in 13 and a half years or 14 years since I've been in the army.
Whoa, that's what you're doing right now. So you're at your hometown, like proper hometown where you grew up. Holy yeah, whoa.
And so I'm seeing people that I haven't seen since I joined the army and having conversations that are totally not like it's wild because in Sydney, I felt like I isolated and I was really good at like getting into like when I was working, working together, I was like, okay, I've got this. Like nobody's influencing my sort of apart from that was I could separate. Now I'm like in the thick of it and everyone's eating everyone's all the time. And that's a real fun journey.
You're like, I've got to put all these years of being conscious into practice right now. Like spirit's just giving you an initiation. Like you thought you were fucking awake, bitch. Here's your fucking lesson, like to your face. Oh my God, Katie, you're amazing, baby. You're amazing. I could only imagine because it's you going back into reliving parts of your childhood as well that you probably also then have to. Yeah, I could imagine all the layers going on right now. Well done, babe. Well done.
Thank you.
I
Everyone
honor you.
listening to the podcast has been hearing the journey of that.
Oh, great. I love it. Oh, great.
Yeah, and it's the story. I love that you brought this up because really right now, like it's so interesting. Like I was, really deep in like, I've got this, I'm making millions, I'm doing all the things. And I come home and all of a sudden I go back into the old version of who I was when I lived here. I can feel that I'm like shift in and out of the different stories, right? That I'm really good at selling myself. And when other people come in and influence it, it's so interesting. And that's why I wanted to ask you about the money thing as well, because, that's been a really big conversation and like, everyone's perception and understanding and what they think about money and the nuances around that. So it's really interesting being in all of these different things and then having stories, other people's stories like pop in and them constantly reinforcing that and then living out childhood and what that looks like. Yeah. So
My brain is just like, whoa, babe. I could imagine like if I put myself back into like living back in New Zealand where I grew up, like, fuck, like, man, no one's grown, and the people that have grown have left, right? Yes, yeah.
yeah,
Love all your people in Newcastle, and yeah, love them, of course.
I mean, they know that. But it's funny, some of my friends, when I've come back, my two really good friends that I've had forever, and I see them every time I come home, but they're not into, well, one is a little bit into spirituality and things, but they always go like, are you okay? How is it being back? And it's like, because they know that they're like, oh gosh, they've wanted me to leave army and come back for years, but they also understand the implications of me coming back. And so they're like,
Yeah, it's like,
then they're like, how are you?
oh, bless them. Yeah, babe. I could imagine.
Yeah. But it's beautiful, if I get to see one of my best friends have a baby and like that's so super. Yeah. So they're beautiful. There's the duality, right? Of like the incredible things and then the things I just get to rejig and be in the stories that I want to be in and not people pleasing. And I think another piece, and I mean, I'm sure you'll have a big thing on this as well, and I would love your perspective, but has been about the radical honesty of the fact that for me right now, it's like stepping into leadership when people, like you talked about a little bit before, of like, will they love me? And I brought that up like in the way of like, I say I want to go make millions of dollars and I want to get online. I say things and then like, will my parents still, and people in Newcastle and all the things that I've now come back to, will that be through that radical honesty through myself is a really hard thing because you're like, crap, if I go about this road, what does that mean for my life? So yeah.
So that's what stops a lot of people becoming millionaires. So I think it's like 1% of the world ever become a millionaire. Is because of it's so funny. Everyone wants to be like, everyone has it on their vision board, but then to actually do the action steps to becoming that, because it's less about the money that you make and it's actually more about who you have to become. And it becomes this, for me, I felt so separate. When I became a millionaire, I was like, oh my God, none of my friends are going to love me. My family aren't going to love me anymore. And I thought I was going to become separate, but what actually happened was I made myself separate. So I then was like, well, no one will love me. So then I separated myself, which is such bullshit because people love you regardless. I mean, a lot of people, you do have to put up with a lot of, this is my experience anyway. I had to put up with a lot of projection. So like a lot of people being jealous of me.
Yeah.
And though that's why my favorite saying is like, you can do this too. Because all I actually wanted was everyone to come with me, and still do. Like, I still have a lot of friends that aren't millionaires, and I want them to come with me. So every time I see them, I'm like, how can I help you in your business, babe? Let's go. Let's go make some money. And the reason I want that for people is because of the freedom that it gives people. Like, people talk about wanting freedom. Actually, I believe freedom is time and money. If you have endless amounts of time, then you can do what you want with it, which is free. And then if you have endless amounts of money, you can do what you want with it, which is free. And I mean, there's going to be seasons of that too. Like, you know, last year, me and my partner had so much fucking cash. We were doing whatever the fuck we wanted to. This year, it's been a lot different. I took, 3 or 4 months off coaching. And then I shut my business down basically to rebuild another business. So we stopped hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of payment plans coming in. We, refunded, I think $60,000 or $50,000 to $60,000 worth of payment plans because people had paid in full, and I wanted to be in integrity with the closing down the containers that I had. And so we really repositioned ourselves. So we haven't had as much free cash this year to just live the life that we want to. In saying that, we still have a chef, we've still paid for my parents' flights, like we've still been able to do cool shit, but just not to the level that I want, that I still truly desire. So even though we're multimillionaires and we make a lot of money, there's different seasons, because there's different seasons of investments, there's different seasons of team. Like, we've got, different team at the moment they're quite like costing us a lot of money, but we're repositioning ourselves in the marketplace to then build this next business. Like, so there's seasons of that, right? Now, coming back to, I was on a thread and then I changed that thread and now I'm on another thread. Sorry, pause everyone. Where was I? I was telling you about becoming a millionaire. So I separated myself. There was also a journey that I was in from, I think, 65,000 cash months to then going up to 100K cash months. The thing that was stopping me getting to my next level was actually the amount of guilt that I held for being wealthy. I was told, I called myself rich then. I didn't call myself wealthy. I called myself rich. So there was a period where I was like, I'm just going to get rich, which is becoming a millionaire. Becoming a multimillionaire, I'm like, I'm going to get wealthy. I'm going to invest in different things and buy property. And then my partner, of course, has lots of property. And so when we became wealthy, right? So I also feel like I hit the jackpot in the lottery, but that's another story. I love my husband. Woo! Okay, so coming... Look at that. All right. So then coming back to so what was stopping me from hitting 65K to going above? So it worked out that I think 4 months in a row, I hit 65K cash every single month, no matter what I did differently. I brought on new clients, I hired new mentors, I invested in a different team, different company structure, same cash every single month. And I was like, why am I not growing? Then when I sat with my feelings, I was like, I feel so guilty because most people don't even make $65,000 in a year.
Yeah, so true.
So I had this guilt that riddled me, that paralyzed me from going even further, because I genuinely felt like such a bitch that I was making more money than everyone else. So then I did this, holographics, an 8-hour process on removing guilt from that line. And then the month after, I did a 100K cash month. And so the guilt that you hold from your family will stop you making money as well. And a lot of people don't recognize that. So I was very grateful that when I first started the my self-development journey, I FaceTimed my whole family. Well, actually, I video called them on Messenger, and I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm starting to talk to aliens. Hey, just so you know, I'm going on spaceships. Hey, just so you know, I'm starting to use light language. This is what it's like. And I started sending them videos. I was like, this is how woo-woo it is. But also, I can now talk to our grandfather, and now I can talk to my auntie, and now I can talk to all these people that have crossed over, which was the intention. Then it was like, okay, I'm going to help all of humanity. And that was like, all I wanted to do was help humanity. And then I realized that people could make more money. And I was like, hold on a second. If I made more money, does that mean that I can pay for my parents to fly anywhere with me whenever I want to? So I've taken my parents on several different holidays because I actually wanted that deeper connection with them. does that mean that if I make more money, can I hire my brother and sister? So my brother and sister work for me, so everything that I've done because I wanted to create connection. So really money also equals connection, but in a different way to what I thought at the start. At the start, I was just making money to grow the business, to get to the next level, to get to the next level, to get to the next level. And then I realized that actually my deeper values are always because I wanted to find deeper connection. So when I stopped chasing the money because of things and started realizing it was to do with my values, that also allowed me to make more money. Then the other thing was I've just brought my family along with me the whole time. So even when they were like, I remember my sister getting in the car one day. I went and bought. Guys, I love fish and chips. Just as a side note, I love fish and chips. Everyone flew to Queensland, and I was like, "We'll go and get this mint fish and chips." I'll go and get fish and chips. And I said to my sister's like, "Oh, I can't afford to do this, and I can't afford to do this." And I said to her, "Can I just pay for everything?" And she's like, "I don't want your fucking money." And I was like, "But I want to pay for your stuff. Like I've created all this richness. I want to provide for you as well." And she's like, "You don't need to do that for me." And she's like, "I don't want you to do that for me." And I was like, oh my God, I thought I would do this for you, but she doesn't actually even want it. So then I was like, oh my God, I've done this. Like I thought I would be able to buy her love basically. And so it's just this really weird thing that I had to go through of being like, okay, actually, I get to actually enjoy this money for me. So at the start, it was like, how can I give back to my family? And then it was like, hold on a second. Once I removed that guilt and realized that they're actually living their own life and they don't actually care about my money, I was like, oh, that means I can do the shit that I want. So I definitely went on lots of shopping sprees, guys. Like shopping sprees. I have the best wardrobe in the whole entire world. And that was like really fun because I was like, wow, I've just come into money. I can do all these things that I've always wanted to do. Like this is, ever since I was a little girl, I remember like being 12 years old and drawing fashion out. Like I've always been obsessed with fashion. Like I've always wanted to have this incredible wardrobe because I actually value fashion. So I was like, okay, I can start spending money on me. So I realized actually there was a huge couple of months where I wouldn't even spend money on myself because I felt guilty for spending money on me because I wanted to just give it to my family. But it was also almost like when I was picking up fish and chips in my car one night with my sister and she gave me that permission of like, I don't want your money. Like you do what you want with it. And I was like, oh. She's like, yeah, I don't care if like whatever the fuck you want to buy, man, go buy it. I was like, oh, okay. And then so there's all these like levels that I had to move through of like feeling guilty for my family, then feeling guilty for humanity, that humanity doesn't earn as much money. Like they don't earn most people don't earn $65,000 a year. So that really stuck me for such a long time. And then even like, when I mentioned moving into this house and crying, one of the things that then came up, one of the programs that I kept hearing in my head was I was a greedy person. So I had never had that program come up. During becoming a millionaire, the program that I had was like, if I was a millionaire, I'd give all my money away because my mum used to say that all the time. So my first million, to be honest, I spent it like very, very, very quickly. Also too, I'd never had that sort of money come into my bank account, so I didn't really feel that safe to hold it, right? Versus like when I got on my, and I had quite a lot of money when I met my partner, April last year, but then he had so much more money in his bank account and he had lots of property. So he was like, let's learn to really invest and multiply our money. And I was like, wow, thank God I've got this man in my life, which was so seamless. So yeah, the crying when I first, so the program that I kept hearing was like, if I had $1 million, I'd give all my money away. And then the other thing was like, money's the root of all evil. I kept like, that was like I had extended family take people to court and stuff like that over money and just like then money was greedy, but I never really felt the greedy thing. I was like, oh, that's not a program that I have anyway. For those of you who right now are thinking, what's my money program? You literally need to go back through your childhood, go into your childhood, remember what were the things that you heard about money, and then you need to find the opposite of that statement, and then you just need to start saying it to yourself all the time. So the thing that was also stopping me to get to my millions was me saying to myself, like, money doesn't grow on trees, money doesn't grow on trees, money doesn't grow on trees. And we don't have enough of that. We don't have enough of that. We don't have enough of that. Now, like I mentioned, I had an amazing incredible childhood. Mum and dad gave us everything that they fucking could have, and they worked their fucking asses off for us to have everything. And one of the things Mum said was like, we don't have enough money for that particular thing, but doesn't mean we don't have money for other things. But as a child, I took that as we don't have enough money. So then that's the program that I started running. So my whole life, I've only ever had just enough to get by. So then when I came into this work of self-development and becoming conscious, like you said before, like you forget that you can actually have your own story. But I realized that, hold on a second, I can create my own reality. The story that I'm now selling myself every single day is I don't have enough money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money's the root of all evils. And I started saying those things to myself. I realized that that's why I was living in that paradigm of having no money. So what I did to get out of it was quite literally start saying the opposite to myself, which is like, I'm so wealthy. I have so much money. I'm so abundant. I have so much money. I'm so incredibly abundant. There's money everywhere. Look, I'm buying a $5 matcha. Thank you, universe. I'm so grateful. Oh my God, I'm paying my electricity bill right now. Thank you, universe. I've got so much money. I've got such an overflow of money. Okay, I'm buying a burrito from fucking Guzman and Gomez. Thank you, Guzman and Gomez. I'm so grateful. Fucking love burritos. I'm so grateful. Like, like whatever it is, it's just like that external reality of like being, I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then slowly, once you start conditioning yourself that this is your new you're now selling yourself a different story. And the new story that you're selling yourself is like, you've got money everywhere. There's money everywhere. Everyone's got money in their pocket. Everyone's got money on their bank account. There is billions of dollars in the world, trillions of dollars in the world just circulating everywhere. Then of course, I'm going to be able to be successful. So you just start to sell yourself these different stories, guys. And also too, for those of you listening right now that are curious about wanting to make more money, read every single money book that there is. Every single money book, like learn it, read it, study it, and invest your time spending and learning about money. Then start to really recode yourself. Like on YouTube, there is so many different hypnosises for becoming wealthy, for becoming a millionaire, for jumping timelines and raising your vibration and all of these things. Like I was hypnotizing myself every single day.
Yeah.
Like every single day I was listening to some sort of hypnosis about money. Of course I became a millionaire. I recoded my whole entire reality, my whole entire unconscious mind, and my conscious mind was just being programmed all the time with money. And so, yeah, if you guys, like it's available to you guys. It's not outside of you. Yes, you might have to go through some stuff with your family, but take them with you. Like have open conversations. Like that's growth. Have the hard conversations like, hey, I want to become a millionaire and I want to do these things. How does that feel for you guys? And if they project on you and they reject you, good.
Yeah.
That's okay. Keep going anyway. Because it was probably the first year or so that I started talking about money. People were kind of like off me. They were like, oh, Natalie, all she cares about is money. And the projection was everywhere like, oh, all Natalie cares about is fucking money. But then when I became a millionaire, they were like, oh, she's done it. Oh, okay. So then they didn't really have much to say. Then when I became a multimillionaire, which only took me 4 months, so I made my first million within a year, my second million within 4 months. Then everyone was like, okay, she must know what she's fucking talking about then. So they started discrediting me and they started crediting me of being like, actually, she knows what she's talking about. And then I became such an embodiment of money that no one really cares anymore. Like everyone's just like, oh, well, that's Nat. Nat, oh yeah, Nat. Yeah, Nat's wealthy. Yeah, who cares? Like it's not even a statement anymore. No one even cares about it because it's been in my reality for the last 4 or 5 years. It's kind of old news. Like no one cares, and now we're living this reality. Like again, no one really cares. Like mum and dad don't come over here and be like, oh, nice house anymore. They're just like, oh yeah, this is Nat's house. Like they don't care. Even like I remember when we first got our cars, like my brother was like, this has been my dream car my whole life. What the fuck? And my brother was like, I need to drive it. One of my best girlfriends came over. She's like, let me in your car. Like, I need to drive this car. They were frothing over my car. And now it's like, we get so much sand through our car and there's muddies everywhere and fucking milk and shit. It's a car. Like you just get so accustomed to your living, and also we're very, 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 very blessed and grateful, and we always use gratitude. Like walking around our house every day, we feel so expansive and so grateful we can keep creating in this beautiful space. But but then also like, you know, life ebbs and flows. Like we're not as wealthy this year as we were last year. And I know next year will be way wealthier. Like, because there's seasons. This year we've been in a winter. We've been in a deep winter. Next year we're going to be in an amazing summer. And we might be in just a spring next year. Who knows? And like every year of your life is going to evolve. And it's who can you be when you're in those seasons, and just allow yourself like the grace of wherever you're at, you know?
Yeah. It's so beautiful. I mean, you've touched on so many pieces, which is amazing, of just seeing that there's so many sides to having money. Like you said, the time, the freedom, and do what people want, right? They want the freedom to be themselves, to have time to do what they want to do. And that is what money provides. Like it's a beautiful thing that you can have that. And then, like you're saying, with being grateful, like everything's really exciting when you first get it, right? Like
Yes. Yeah.
all of a sudden it's normal. It's becoming normal. And it's beautiful to see how you've navigated that and been with all of that, right? Like, and now you get to keep creating and keep expanding. And I just so blessed to hear how you've done that. And I also now would love to kind of like switch into light language, so we get to have a little bit of a chat about that, because I feel like we get to move into that. But yeah, obviously you've spoken a little bit how you know, were super open with your family, and I love that. I love that you had the conversation, even though it's a scary conversation.
So scary. Yep.
Yeah, and then how that's developed and grew for you to being the literal light language queen. So I'd love you, babe.
So yeah, let's go back even more. When I was 20, so when I was 18, 19, 20, 21-ish, I was an ice addict. I was very suicidal, deep in depression and anxiety. Then I came out of that. I started an eyelash business that grew. I was still taking lots of party drugs 3 or 4 times a week, not just on the weekends. Like I was partying still, but I called myself sober. So I then, probably about 24, realized how fucked I was, how much shame I had had, and guilt and all the things. And I had a binge eating disorder, and I was shaming myself for weight and all these pieces. My auntie actually died when I was 17 years old, and my grandfather died, and then my dad got cancer all within a space of 6 months, and it was horrific. And I had no idea that all of my drug abuse and addiction and binge eating and all those things stemmed from that experience. So when I was about 24, 25, and I started hearing other conscious people talking about trauma and started to link it back, I then had this huge awakening of like, holy fuck, the only reason I've been doing these things is because of the trauma that I actually went through, but I never thought it was trauma. So I then was like, oh my God, I want to see if I can connect over to my auntie. So I went through this like huge awakening of like every single book about spirituality, psychicness. I saw so many different psychics, so many different mediums. Every single book that I could read, every single YouTube, because podcasts weren't a thing back then. Like YouTube, I was like on YouTube all the time. By the way, guys, just for some context, I'm 31 right now. So, you know, this was quite a number of years ago when I was 24 years old. And oh my God, being 24, imagine being 24 again, babe. Holy, lol. Like, holy, you just see the world so different, don't you? Okay. Side notes here, guys. So I'm fucking 24, I'm reading all these books. I'm then starting to hear about meditation. I learn about meditation. I start trying it. I'm like, kind of play with that for a couple of years. Then COVID hits and I'm like, right, I've got all the time in the world to start meditating. I start meditating. I start connecting to my grandfather and my auntie and my grandmother. It was this amazing thing. And I, of course, every single time I talked to a family member that had passed over, I'd call mum and dad and I'd call my brother and sister and I was like, what? This is so cool. So I really was bringing people with me. Then I heard about light language and I was like, oh my God, I was just obsessed with it. I wanted to listen to light language all day, every day. And I was like, I really want to do light language, but I always thought that I couldn't do it. Just like I thought I couldn't be psychic. I thought all these things were outside me. Hilarious. It's what I teach now. So I journeyed this for a number of years. And then when I activated in light language, that was like the biggest soul remembrance awakening that I'd ever had. And then I started, as soon as I got access to light language, I got access to then seeing other spirit guides, aliens, going on spaceships, and like all these crazy things that I was like, fuck, that's so cool. I want to be like that. And then, of course, I realized that actually it's just vibration. All I need to do is tap into vibration. And that's all light language is. Like light language is just a vibration that you tap into. And so, yeah, I started listening and learning all about it. And I just became absolutely obsessed. I've got a very obsessive personality. And I just became like, it just became my whole entire life. So in the mornings, I would light language myself for like an hour before I would even start my day. I would do light language and then I'd do a meditation, and I would be in that heightened frequency. And then throughout the day, if I had time, I'd just light language. So there was a period before I started my business where I was light languaging probably light languaging and meditating 3 times a day. And I was so obsessed with connecting to higher realms and raising my vibration that this just became my absolute life. I didn't have a partner. I didn't have many friends when I first moved up to the Gold Coast from Melbourne. And I just became so fucking addicted to meditating and raising my vibration. And then, of course, I never thought I would be able to teach it. But every single time I was in different coaching rooms or different training rooms or different modalities, I'd break out into light language whenever I'd had a big breakthrough. And so I then became this like light language chick. And so, you know, like here I am in an NLP room and I'm getting this big breakthrough. I'm in the back of the room just light languaging myself and recoding myself because that's just what naturally started happening to me. When I was walking my dog down the street, I'd start light languaging. And so I'd always get these codes everywhere. And then I just thought, I thought that everyone that activated in light language, this would happen to. I thought it was very normal. So I was just like, oh, I'm normal, it's fine. And then I realized after speaking to lots of other people that spoke light language, like they don't just break out in random light language. I was like, oh. I was like, oh, I thought you guys would all. And they were like, no, it's like, that's a you thing. I was like, oh. And then I hired these 2 mentors, both separate, that both became my best friends. One's really big into manifestation, one's really big into channeling. And I felt like the odd one out. I was like, I don't have my thing. And they were like, oh, your thing's quantum shifting. Oh, your thing's jumping timelines. Oh, your thing's identity death. So I was like, no, I don't think it is. And then, of course, I started light languaging one day when all 3 of us were together, and they were like, it's light language is your thing. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, holy fuck, I've been doing light language healings on people for years. I have this method that I do that I just channeled. And then I was like, oh my God, this is like my gift to humanity. I was like, oh my God. One weekend, I spent 5 days off my phone, 5 days off all social media, all electronic. So no Google Maps, no fucking Uber Eats, no anything that I really like to do. Anyway, I was like, damn, I'm sitting here just with my notepad, my pen, going to the beach every day. And I start channeling through this whole entire method for how to really heal humanity. So this is how light codes, my modality, was birthed. And then I was like, all right, if I bring it to the world, how will I do it? So I then hired another mentor that showed me how to do events and how to sell from stage and all those sort of pieces. And then boom, within the last 2 years, we put 720 students through this modality worldwide. It's now a global thing. We've got clients now all over the world. Practitioners all over the world, which is very fucking cool. So, it's wild. I never knew at the start that I was going to create this. Like, I just had no idea. I was just, trusting my spirit guides, trusting my journey, trusting where I was at, investing in the right people at the right time because I had listened to my spirit guides. And I really, truly believe that my spirit guides have been, just teaching me my whole entire life. And I really believe that my auntie crossing over, she's been at the forefront of my whole entire mission, which is just so beautiful.
Yeah. Wow. It's so incredible. Sorry, my Piper's decided she wants to join in.
Piper, you haven't chat to us, baby.
It's so beautiful and it's amazing. Like, and from that as well, I mean, you called in your husband, like, tell him.
Oh, God. I'm just conscious of time. So I'll give you a real quick story, guys. So Through light language, I really truly believe we're able to tap into the quantum field, which means we're able to access more of the universe. And through that, I started to be able to then call in my divine partner, who then called him, I also called him my baby. So I started to be able to then, of course, speak to my spirit baby. So I'd been talking to my spirit babies for years. And I moved down to Byron Bay in a big 6-bedroom house alone. And I was like, right, I'm going to consciously call in my man. I got really, really lonely in this house. But I think the loneliness created space because I was living a very hectic life. And then, yeah, going down to Byron, I had all this space, all this capacity. And then I realized that, hold on a second, I'm going to call in my man. So I just started talking to my spirit babies. I was like, babies, go and find your father, go and find your father, go and find your father. Then sure enough, about 3 or 4 months later from me moving into this Byron Bay house, I then randomly decide to go on a yacht with one of my other best friends, and he brought his best friend, and his best friend is my now husband. And so just right time, right place. We were on this yacht for 6 days, no service. And it was basically just the two of us. We got to really connect. Now, we had met each other at a training years ago, and we knew each other and knew each other's stories. And I knew his ex-girlfriends, and he knew my ex-boyfriend, all of it. So we got to know each other really quickly because we had already gotten so much of the story. Like, we knew so much about each other. Then we were together for 3 months and we fell pregnant. And this was also, just by the way, guys, just some extra context. He did not come inside me. Like, it was a full miracle, full miracle, full miracle. And so then, yeah, our beautiful baby is 6 months old, and now we've actually got another baby in my belly. So, and again, I said to, when I first birthed my son and I was feeding him, I think I was maybe 2 weeks. He was 2 weeks old. Sorry, start again. He was 2 weeks old. I'm breastfeeding him, and my daughter comes through. Mummy, I want to be born. I'm meant to be a twin soul. I'm meant to be there with you guys. I feel so lonely being up here in the spirit world alone. And I'm just like bawling my eyes out. I go and wake Warren up, and I'm like, babe, I'm like, our beautiful daughter's coming through. Like, I have to give birth to her. And I was like, we better have sex soon. Like, I was like, we've got to have sex soon. Like, we've got to make a baby. And then seriously, like a few months ago, we made love, and I was like, you're intentionally coming inside me, and I'm going to intentionally put my hands on my belly. So we had this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lovemaking session where I put my hands on my belly and I was like, I welcome you into my body. And literally, like a month later, I was pregnant. And I knew I was pregnant too because she came to me in different dreams and just really sneaky stuff. Like, she's come into lots of different people's worlds and been like, hey, tell mum I'm here. Like, she's just so cheeky. So, yeah, and it's just all through the power of being able to channel, guys. So channeling is just like the most incredible gift.
It's so beautiful, and I'm so excited for you, and congratulations. And
So cool.
this question I just want to ask before we go real quick, but what makes you an unapologetically wild woman?
My ability to be all of me. Being unapologetically just fucking me, and my rawness and my realness and my cuntness. Like, I just show up authentically as me, and I'm fucking wild at the core. So I truly believe after dropping all the masks from doing all of this inner work, not having to be a people pleaser anymore, not having to show up as someone that I'm fucking not. If I'm having a bad day, I'm going to fucking tell you. Like, if I'm, yeah, like exactly where I'm at, I'm just so unapologetically being myself.
I love that. That's so sure. I love all of you. You are so perfect and so amazing. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll drop everything so everyone can follow you and everything in your steps. And then if they want to become a practitioner, they can.
Yes, January is going to be our last light codes for a while because I'm going to be having this beautiful bubby and I want to be a mummy for a bit. So if everyone wants to come to January, you can come on Zoom or you can come in person on the Gold Coast. It's going to be our last one. It's going to be a big one. So feel free to come.
Beautiful. Well, I'll make sure I put all that in the show notes so everyone can come either. And I love that you have both Zoom and in person. It's really beautiful so that everyone can connect no matter where we are. So that.
Yeah. Thank you, my babe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you. You're amazing. Bye, baby.